The recall of 21 batches of Nestle baby formula in the city sparks concerns among parents. Venezuela is turning over millions of barrels of oil to the United States, worth over $2.7 billion US. And let's take a look at the new generation of tech-filled Lego called Smart Bricks. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. 21 batches of Nestle baby formula imported from Europe are being recalled over suspected contamination with a toxin-producing bacteria called Bacillus cereus, which may cause vomiting and diarrhea. The Center for Food Safety is urging the public not to let infants and young children consume the products, while some concerned parents are not happy with the recall arrangements. The recall includes 6 batches of Nestle Naan with expiry dates in July, October, and November 2027, and 15 batches of Wife Nutrition, expiring between April and October next year. A mother of a 3-month-old infant who discovered last night that her baby's formula was from the suspected batch expressed great anxiety. She stated she has spent all her time since then looking for recall, exchange, or refund channels. She reported calling the hotline from the morning until afternoon, but calls were either unanswered or phone number no longer registered. Many infants are consuming these products. Shouldn't such a large company proactively provide a recall solution? She asked. She added that suddenly switching brands may not suit her baby, which is why she prefers to buy the same brand. Nestle's official website states it has not received any illness reports. Customers, besides calling the hotline, can also return products directly to their point of purchase. Pediatric infectious disease specialist Mike Kwan explained that Bacillus cereus can produce heat-tolerant toxins. The toxin itself is not destroyed by heat, raising concerns regardless of the water temperature used. He urges parents to immediately stop using the affected batches and to seek medical attention promptly if their infants or young children develop symptoms. Following adjustments to public healthcare fees, a wave of patients has rushed to apply for fee waivers, straining hospital resources and spilling over into integrated family services centers run by the Social Welfare Department. Frontline social workers said the influx could disrupt regular operations at these family service hubs. Cheryl Yun has the story.
In Tin Shui Wai, a queue was formed outside an integrated family service center before doors opened, with residents specifically seeking waivers for medical expenses. One elderly man complained about the paperwork burden. There are so many documents to submit and forms to fill out, he said. A woman echoed the frustration. She called the long waits at hospitals horrifying, noting that some people started lining up as early as 6 a.m. The government relaxed the waiver eligibility thresholds alongside the fee hike across public medical services, boosting the number of potential applicants to 1.4 million people. A social workers union has questioned whether hospital teams can handle the sudden volume promptly, leading to many cases being redirected to integrated family service centers under the Social Welfare Department.
If
this continues unchecked, we'll end up assisting more patients than the hospitals, completely defeating the purpose of diversion. These days, we've only been handling cases for financial reasons, which should not fall under our scope, said Leung Kin Hong, chairman of the General Union of Social Workers in the Social Welfare Department. He highlighted the hospital authorities' transitional measures until March, advising patients with distant follow-up appointments not to rush their waiver applications. As of January 5th, the hospital authority has approved approximately 38,000 applications, with over 29,000 waiver certificates issued. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Hong Kongers woke up to a chilly morning today as temperatures fell to just 10.9 degrees Celsius, the lowest so far this winter. The observatory issued a frost warning, cautioning that ground frost is likely to occur tomorrow morning inland in the New Territories. Jamie Liu reports.
At the promenade in Tsuen Wan West, citizens layered up in winter closet essentials such as down jackets and scarves, and even a pet dog was dressed. I snuggled under 3 duvets, did not want to get out of bed after waking up because it was too cold, a woman said. Another resident, who said he regularly exercises in shorts, put on an extra jacket because he felt the chill this morning. However, runners seemed unbothered by the cold. The city's weather forecaster reported a minimum temperature of 10.9 degrees at its Tsim Sha Tsui headquarters this morning. The observatory said an intense winter monsoon is bringing dry and fine weather, keeping it cold in the next 1 to 2 days. The lowest temperatures on Thursday and Friday would be around 11 and 12 degrees, and parts of the New Territories would be even colder. Still, residents can look forward to a warmer weekend, as temperatures are expected to rise slightly by then, though it would be cool in the morning. The Center for Health Protection reminded residents to stay warm and take good care of vulnerable people, especially the elderly and chronically ill. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Starting from the 25th of this month, passengers must wear seatbelts if they are fitted on buses. Offenders may face fines up to $5,000 and 3 months of imprisonment.
Passengers must wear seatbelts if fitted.
Kowloon Motor Bus has stated it will use onboard announcements to remind passengers, along with signs and posters inside buses. Drivers will be given clear guidance. If a passenger reports that someone is not wearing a seatbelt, the driver will play the announcement again as a reminder. If a seatbelt is found to be faulty, the driver will advise the passenger to move to another seat and will log the issue for follow-up. Currently, 60% of the KMB fleet, or more than 2,500 buses, is already fully fitted with seatbelts and is assigned to expressway routes.
U.S. President Donald Trump announced that Venezuela will turn over up to 50 million barrels of oil to the United States to be sold at market value and with the proceeds controlled by the U.S., a move that could cut supply to China. Anna Chen reports.
Trump posted online that Venezuela will be turning over $2 billion worth of Venezuelan crude to the United States, stating the sanctioned oil will be sold at market value and that money will be controlled by himself as President of the United States, benefiting the people of Venezuela and the U.S. The deal between Washington and Caracas involved about 30 million to 50 million barrels of oil, which could raise up to $2.75 billion from the sale. The oil is almost certainly coming from both its onshore storage and some of the seized tankers that were transporting oil. A U.S. official said the majority of the oil is currently on boats and will go to U.S. facilities in the Gulf to be refined. Supplying the trapped crude to the U.S. could initially require relocating cargoes originally bound for China, which has been Venezuela's top buyer in the last decade. Top Venezuelan officials have accused the U.S. of trying to steal the country's vast oil reserves. However, Tuesday's agreement is a strong sign that the government is responding to Trump's demand that they open up to U.S. oil companies or risk more military intervention. Despite the oil deal, Venezuelan interim President Delcy Rodriguez rejected Trump's statement that the U.S. would run her country. Venezuela does not surrender. Venezuela is in active resistance, she said. Anna Chen, Cable News.
Following the U.S. capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, a political analyst says U.S. efforts to assert more influence in Latin America are likely to meet pushback from both Beijing and states in the region. Jamie Liu talks to Nick Redman at Oxford Analytica.
Maduro's sudden fall raised concerns over Venezuela's future, as well as the intentions of U.S. President Donald Trump. Speaking to iCable News, Director of Analysis at Oxford Analytica Nick Redmond said the military operation in Venezuela aligned with Trump's administration's national security strategy document that had stated Washington aims to restore American preeminence in the Western Hemisphere.
It was very clear that the Western Hemisphere was the most important part of the world to the United States, more than any other part, and that in the Western Hemisphere it should be the United States that's the dominant power, that rival powers should be driven out.
For regional implications, Redmond noted that in many Latin American countries, China has actually become a bigger trade partner than Washington, including some U.S. allies like Argentina. He anticipated U.S. efforts to assert its influence in the region would face challenges.
So the Trump administration would like to see China largely ejected from Argentina's trade, particularly from the strategic elements of it. But that's much easier said than done. It's not only going to be pushed back from China, it's going to be pushed back from a lot of states in Latin America. I would imagine calculations about what the future looks like in Brazil right now are undergoing some very serious revision. And the Brazilians certainly will not be happy with the idea of Latin America as a game reserve for the United States.
Regarding the possibility of more foreign intervention by U.S. military, Redmond said Washington's next steps would depend on how Venezuela plays out, and success is far from certain. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
The United States, for the first time, backed a broad coalition of Ukraine's allies in vowing to provide security guarantees. The pledge came at a summit in Paris as Britain and France also committed to deploy troops to Ukraine in the aftermath of a peace deal.
The summit of the Coalition of the Willing was attended by more than 24 leaders of Ukrainian allies, with the focus of determining Ukraine's security after any potential peace deal is reached with Russia. French President Emmanuel Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Ukraine's leader Volodymyr Zelensky signed the trilateral declaration of intent after hours of talks, which they said would pave the way for the deployment of French and British troops on Ukrainian soil. Macron made it clear that the goal of the force would be to provide reassurance after the ceasefire and noted it would be stationed a long way behind the contact line. On the sidelines of the summit, Zelensky met with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Witkoff said the U.S. strongly stands behind security guarantees for Kiev, while Zelensky thanked Washington for its readiness to be a backstop in all areas, security guarantees, monitoring a ceasefire, and rebuilding. He said the Ukrainian delegation would continue its talks on key issues on Wednesday.
Lego bricks are many people's favorite childhood toy, but what's in store for today's kids might look quite different. The company is launching this March its tech-filled smart bricks that add sounds, lights, and interactive reactions to classic building play. Cheryl Yun shares more.
Lego has unveiled its new smart bricks, advanced building blocks equipped with technology that can detect motion, position, and proximity, creating a more interactive play experience. Measuring 2 by 4, each brick is embedded with sensors, LED lights, a compact sound synthesizer, an accelerometer, and a custom silicon chip that allows it to sense movement and respond accordingly. The smart bricks are part of a broader smart play system, which includes sensor-equipped tags and figurines.
We've put cutting-edge technology, some of it never seen before, into LEGO Smart Play to create a platform for physical interactive play, allowing any LEGO set to come alive in kids' hands. There's no screen inside, there's not even a power button on this thing, but the LEGO Smart Brick responds to what kids do, generating reactions to their actions. It becomes an instrument for their play, and it unleashes their imagination. Maybe go upside down? Yeah, it's not a very good plan.
Meanwhile, a Lego plane made whooshing sounds when moved or rotated, with its smart brick lighting up red upon crashing. However, the launch has sparked mixed reactions. While many welcome the innovation, others worry it dilutes what makes Lego special at a time when children's lives are already saturated with digital devices. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 251 points. Top active stocks of the day. Alibaba was down $4.90. Tencent was down $8. Xiaomi was down 60 cents. And BYD was down $3.90. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar. Euro 9.09. The Japanese yen 49.72. Onto the weather now. Fine and very dry, cold tonight and tomorrow morning. The minimum temperature will be about 11 degrees in the urban areas, and temperatures over parts of the new territories will be significantly lower. The maximum temperature will be around 17 degrees during the day. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thanks for watching and good night.